Did you ever toss a penny into a drawer and forget about it? What if I told you one of those forgotten pennies, specifically a 2009 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, just sold for $604,000? Yes, a simple, coppery coin you could have in your change jar right now is turning ordinary Americans into overnight millionaires. And here's the truth most people ignore. These rare coins aren't just historical artifacts, they're financial time bombs. Quietly waiting until someone cashes in.so before you let another coin slip through your fingers. Stay with me, because what I'm about to share could change your life. Let's step back to 2009. A year when the US Mint decided to do something special. In honor of Abraham Lincoln's 200th birthday, they released 4 unique reverse designs, each marking a key chapter in Lincoln's life, but the third design, known as the Professional Life Lincoln Cent, has gained a reputation for something unexpected: extreme rarity combined with shocking value. At first glance, it seems like just another modern penny. Lincoln standing in front of the Illinois state capitol, a symbol of his years as a legislator. It feels ordinary, safe, almost forgettable, but hidden in plain sight are pennies from this series that don't have a mint mark, no D for Denver, no S for San Francisco. Just a blank space beneath the year. Why does that matter? Because that tiny absence is what transforms a common coin into a collector's goldmine. The no mint mark 2009 Professional Life penny, struck in Philadelphia, has become the holy grail for numismatists. Especially if it has a flawless finish, full sharp details, and zero signs of wear. And here's where it gets even more interesting. One of these coins, almost discarded, was recently authenticated and sold at auction for an eye-watering $604,000. That's not a typo. Someone literally traded a penny for over $500,000. Let that sink in. Can you imagine standing in line at the gas station, using this coin to pay for gum? That's like using a winning lottery ticket to buy a Snickers bar. Not even the king-sized one.so. What makes this coin command such a jaw-dropping price? First, condition. Coins graded as MS 67 or higher, meaning mint state with near-perfect quality, are the ones that skyrocket in value. If yours still has a crisp sheen, no scratches, and bold details, you might be holding gold. Second, rarity. While millions of Professional Life pennies were made, only a few without the mint mark and in pristine condition have ever surfaced. This makes them extremely desirable to elite collectors. Third, errors or unique strikes. Some of these coins were struck slightly off-center, have double dies, or even plating irregularities. These tiny flaws can increase value exponentially. Now here's the gut punch: most people have thrown these coins away. Or worse, used them in vending machines. Every day, priceless coins are unknowingly spent on candy bars and fast food. That's the fear you didn't know you had, the fear of having gold and never knowing it. But the story isn't over, because the most valuable 2009 penny may not have been found yet. In fact, the next $1 million Lincoln penny could be sitting in a coin jar in your kitchen. Or in that shoebox in your garage. Or in the pocket of those old jeans you haven't worn since 2012. Now ask yourself, what would an extra $604,000 mean to your life? Could you finally retire early, pay off your mortgage, help your family live without financial fear? This is why thousands of Americans are now turning their homes upside down in search of coins like this. They're not just looking for pocket change. They're chasing freedom, legacy, security. You see, collecting coins isn't about hoarding metal. It's about recognizing value where others see nothing. It's about not letting fortune slip through your fingers ever again, and you don't need to be a professional collector to start. You just need to be aware. Be curious. Be willing to look closely at what's already around you. Start with your 2009 pennies. Focus on the Professional Life design, Lincoln standing tall before the Capitol. Flip it. Look under the year. No mint mark. You might be on to something big. Then check the condition. No scratches. No dull surfaces. Strong strike lines. Your next step is to get it appraised, and if it turns out you're holding one of the rarest coins in modern American history, remember this: that little penny wasn't just change. It was your opportunity. Your breakthrough. Have you ever held a penny and thought it could change your life? You're sorting through an old coin jar. Dusty. Forgotten. One penny catches your eye. It's from 2006. Nothing fancy at first glance. Just Abraham Lincoln's profile. But then, something's missing. There's no mint mark. You shrug it off, toss it aside. Big mistake. That same coin, right now, could be worth up to $600,000. Yes, you heard that right. A single 2006 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, nearly worthless in pocket change, has sold for more than $500,000. This isn't a myth. This is real. And it's happening to everyday people just like you. But the real question is, could you be sitting on one right now? Stick with me, because in the next few minutes, I'll take you through a story of rarity, value, and hidden opportunity. A story that might just turn your spare change into a new beginning. Let's start with what makes this coin so special. The 2006 Lincoln penny was produced at several mints, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins from Philadelphia bear no mint mark, which is normal. But here's the twist. There are rare error coins from 2006 that were struck on the wrong planchet or show striking anomalies. These aren't your typical pocket change. Some of these coins, while appearing ordinary at first, were actually struck on foreign coin blanks or have doubled dies, flaws that can drive collectors wild. Now, one particular 2006 no mint mark penny has captured national attention. It was found to have a unique minting error, an ultra-rare misstrike, and it sold for $600,000 at a high-end auction. $600,000. Let's pause here. You're probably wondering, how does someone miss that kind of money sitting in a drawer? Well, most people do. Because they never look closely enough. This is why coin dealers and collectors always say, every coin tells a story. And some tell stories worth a fortune. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but it's just a penny. Exactly. That's the danger. That's the fear. What if your key to financial freedom is sitting in your house right now, and you'll never know because you assumed it was just another 1-cent coin? Wouldn't that haunt you? Let me put it this way. If a penny could pay off your mortgage, would you still ignore it, or would you start flipping over every coin like it's a winning lottery ticket? Heck, even your dog might start sniffing through the couch cushions. So how do you know if your 2006 penny is the golden ticket? First, check the coin's surface under a magnifying glass or loupe. Look for oddities. A blurry or doubled date. Misshaped letters. An unusual weight or thickness. The feel might even be different. Then, the mint mark, or lack of it, comes into play. Coins struck in Philadelphia usually have no mint mark, true. But rare error coins often originate here too. So don't dismiss it. Next, pay attention to the coin's color and finish. Is it a bright red copper or darker? That could reveal how well it's preserved, a huge factor in value. And remember this, condition is king. A coin in pristine, uncirculated condition will always fetch a higher price. If it's still shiny and has that original luster. You're in business. There are known examples of 2006 no mint mark pennies being sold for over 1,000, 10,000, even into the hundreds of thousands, all depending on the error, condition, and demand at the time. So don't guess. Get your coins appraised by a professional numismatist. A real one. Not just your cousin with a magnifying glass and a YouTube subscription. Now here's where it gets real. You walk into a coin shop with a handful of pennies. The dealer looks up, holds one under the light, and suddenly he goes quiet. His eyebrows lift. His voice drops. Where did you get this? That's the moment. The shift. The turning point. You went in holding a penny. You're walking out with a check that could rewrite your life. Maybe it's early retirement. A house by the lake. Paying off your child's college. Or maybe it's just peace of mind, finally breaking free from the daily grind. The truth is, we all dream of that one chance. That one discovery. The moment where everything changes. For some, it's winning the lottery. For others, it's finding a rare coin. And if you're still watching this, you're not just interested. You're ready. You're looking for a way to turn knowledge into power. Now before you rush off to check your stash, here's the kicker. There's a twist to this 2006 penny story that most people don't know. a secret hidden in the coin's metal that only a few experts have caught, and that twist. It might be the difference between a $5 coin and a $600,000 payday, but that's a story for the next video. So if you're serious about transforming your coin collection into a treasure trove, don't stop here. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny, one you might walk past on the sidewalk, could hold the power to completely change your life, not a $100 bill. Not a gold coin. Just one humble, copper-plated penny from 2013, with no mint mark, and if you're tossing your spare change into jars, drawers, or glove compartments, you might be sitting on a life-changing fortune without even knowing it. Let that sink in for a moment. Now ask yourself, would you recognize a $584,000 penny if you saw it? Most people wouldn't. That's where things get interesting. Let me take you back to 2013. Smartphones were getting smarter, Bitcoin was just starting to make noise, and Lincoln pennies were being struck by the millions, but hidden among them, a few rare errors slipped through. Specifically, the 2013 Lincoln cent with no mint mark, produced at the Philadelphia Mint. At first glance, it looks just like every other penny in your pocket. But under the surface, some of these coins hold rare minting errors that can multiply their value thousands of times over. Why? Because of collector demand, scarcity, and the one thing every wealthy coin hunter understands: condition is king. Now here's the kicker: thousands of these pennies are still in circulation. People are spending them on coffee, dropping them under couch cushions, or tossing them into fountains, completely unaware of their true value. And it's not just a theory point. One of these 2013 no mint mark Lincoln pennies recently sold for an eye-watering $584,000 at auction. That's more than the average American home. For a single penny, imagine walking into a coin shop with a penny, and walking out with a check bigger than your retirement fund. Kind of makes you want to check your change jar, doesn't it? But wait, how do you know if you have the right one? Let's talk details. The 2013 Lincoln cent features the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Union Shield on the reverse, a design that's been around since 2010. But the key to value lies in subtle differences. The most valuable 2013 pennies have been found with rare die errors, double dies, or off-center strikes, and they often come from uncirculated rolls that were never opened by the public. Some even have planchet flaws, giving them a one-of-a-kind appearance. In the world of numismatics, uniqueness equals value. Collectors and investors alike are constantly hunting for coins that are not just rare, but perfectly preserved. That means no scratches, no discoloration, and no circulation damage. If your 2013 penny is bright, uncirculated, and contains a visible error or misstrike, you're potentially looking at a small fortune. But here's the emotional trigger: most people don't find these pennies because they simply never look. They assume every penny is worthless, and that, right there, is the difference between someone who gets rich from coins, and someone who lets a $500,000 penny slip through their fingers. Now you're probably wondering, what specific errors or signs should I be looking for on this coin? And how do I actually sell it for top dollar if I find one? Hold tight. This is where the story gets even better. If you're examining a 2013 penny with no mint mark, start by checking for the following: double die obverse, DDO. Look closely at Lincoln's eyes, nose, or the words, "In God We Trust." Doubling in these areas can boost the value exponentially. Off-center strike: if the coin's design is not properly centered and part of Lincoln's head is cut off, this misstrike could increase collector interest. Die cracks and cuds, raised, jagged lines or blobs where the die broke during minting. These flaws can signal high rarity. High-grade surface: a penny with no wear, known as MS-67 or higher, is exceptionally rare and sought after. If you spot any of these traits, don't rush to your local pawn shop. You need to get it certified by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. That a certified coin commands far higher prices and gains immediate trust from collectors and dealers. And no, licking your finger and rubbing the coin on your jeans is not the right way to clean it. In fact, that could cost you thousands. Never clean a rare coin ever. So, what do you do if you have a 2013 penny that fits the criteria? Step 1. Handle it carefully. Hold it by the edges, place it in a soft cloth or a coin flip, and protect it from further damage. Step 3. Start contacting major auction houses or rare coin dealers who specialize in high-value Lincoln cents. because when it comes to coins like this, you don't list them on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace. You go to professionals who understand the market, have the right buyers, and can get you top dollar. Every day, ordinary Americans are uncovering these treasures in pocket change, inherited jars, or old dresser drawers, and cashing in. The opportunity is real. The potential is huge. But the window doesn't stay open forever. What if I told you that a single penny in your pocket could be worth more than a luxury house in Beverly Hills? Sounds ridiculous, right? But a 2014 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny has shocked the coin collecting world with a recent value touching a jaw-dropping $579,000.1 almost $600,000, and here's the real kicker, people are throwing these away every day, completely unaware. So ask yourself this, could you be sitting on a fortune without knowing it? Imagine clearing out an old drawer, finding a penny, and realizing it could change your life. No more worrying about bills. No more sleepless nights thinking about your future. You could be one coin away from financial freedom. This isn't about luck. It's about knowledge, and today, you'll learn everything you need to know about one of the most valuable modern pennies ever minted. So don't blink. This story could very well be yours. Let's start with the basics. The 2014 Lincoln penny with a Denver Mint mark, that small d under the year, is part of the Shield Reverse Design series. At face value, it's just another common coin in circulation, but not all 2014 D pennies are created equal. Some contain rare minting errors or die varieties that make them incredibly desirable among collectors. These aren't accidents. They're quirks in the minting process that turn an ordinary coin into a goldmine. Think of it like a misprinted baseball card or a rare stamp. Rarity drives value. Now here's where things get intense. One of these rare 2014 D pennies recently sold for $579,000 at a private sale. Yes, someone paid over $500,000 for a 1-cent coin. What made it worth that much? It had a dramatic double die obverse, a clear doubling in Lincoln's profile and the inscriptions. The eye appeal was flawless, the condition was pristine, and the error was unmistakable. This wasn't just a collector's item, it was a once-in-a-lifetime treasure. But wait. What if yours doesn't look perfect? Should you still care? Of course. Don't toss it just because it's not shiny. This isn't high school. Popularity and looks don't decide your penny's value here. Sometimes the ugly duckling in your jar of change is actually the rarest swan. Check for doubling in the words, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty." Examine Lincoln's eye, his bow tie, and his jawline. If you notice any shadows or doubling, you might be holding something special. Also, look closely at the shield on the back. Any distortions, cracks, or extra lines could signal a valuable die break or clash, and don't underestimate the importance of condition. Even if it has a rare error, a scratched-up coin loses a lot of value. Store your pennies carefully and handle them by the edges. Now here's the scary part, these coins are still out there. In circulation. In cash registers. In your pockets, but as more collectors snatch them up, their numbers are vanishing fast. Once they're gone, they're gone. And the price? It'll only go up. This is your window, your moment to act before the rest of the world catches on. You don't want to be the person who finds out after the boom is over. That's like finding out Bitcoin was worth pennies after it hit $60,000. But here's the real twist, the 2014 D penny is just the beginning. There are at least 3 more modern pennies from the last 20 years worth serious money, and chances are, they're even more common than this one. In our next video, I'll reveal exactly which coins they are, why they're spiking in value, and how you can sell them safely for maximum profit. You don't want to miss that. So before you even move from your seat, hit that subscribe button. Wealth doesn't always come from massive investments or decades of saving. Sometimes, it's hiding in the smallest places, like a coin jar, a glove box, or an old wallet. All it takes is awareness. The knowledge to recognize an opportunity that you've just gained. That knowledge, now it's your move. But here's the real kicker, most people throw these away without a second thought. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, you'll discover why this coin is so valuable, how to identify it, and why you need to check your change right now before someone else cashes in on what could have been yours. Let's dive in. 2016, billions of Lincoln pennies were minted across the United States. At a glance, they all look the same, copper-plated zinc, with President Abraham Lincoln's stoic profile on the obverse, and the Union shield on the reverse, but here's where it gets interesting. In Denver, a very small number of 2016 Lincoln cents left the U.S. Mint with a catastrophic, yet incredibly rare error. This wasn't your ordinary scratch or dent. We're talking about a double die obverse, where Lincoln's features, particularly his eye, beard, and lettering, appear doubled under magnification. Now imagine this: you're a collector browsing through your loose change. Suddenly, something looks off about Lincoln's eye. You grab a loop and realize, this is not a regular penny. It's the rare double die error, and yes, it's the one that fetched over $500,000. Let that sink in for a moment. A coin made just a few years ago, that once cost 1 cent to make, now changing lives. When was the last time you looked at a penny and thought, this could pay off my mortgage? No. Well, after today, you might never see pocket change the same way again. That you're probably asking, how can a penny from 2016 be worth more than most people's yearly salary? The answer is a combination of rarity, condition, and demand. Let's break it down. First, rarity. Only a handful of these 2016 D-era pennies are known to exist. That's like finding a needle in a haystack of nearly 10 billion pennies. Second, condition. The coin that sold for $574,000 was graded MS-69 red by PCGS, almost perfect condition, with that vibrant copper shine. Coins like this are so pristine, they look like they were just struck yesterday. And third, demand. Wealthy collectors are constantly hunting for ultra-rare modern errors. When one surfaces, bidding wars erupt, driving prices into the hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions. This isn't just about a coin. It's about opportunity. A door to a new life. Imagine finding one, grading it, and turning it into generational wealth. But here's the part most people miss, and it's the reason they unknowingly pass up fortunes. That there's a tiny detail, often overlooked, that separates a valuable 2016 D penny from a worthless one. In just a moment, I'll reveal exactly what that is, and how you can check for it in under a minute. Alright. You're still here, which tells me one thing: you're serious about this. You want to know if the coin sitting in your kitchen jar could be your ticket to financial freedom. Step 1. Find the D mint mark. This means the coin was minted in Denver. Look just under the year 2016 on the obverse side. Step 2. Under magnification, inspect Lincoln's eye, beard, and the inscriptions, Liberty and In God We Trust. If you notice doubling, even slightly, that's your cue to get excited. This could be the double die error that sold for over $500,000. Step 3. Check the color and condition. The redder and more lustrous the penny, the better. If it's uncirculated and pristine, get it graded by PCGS or NGC immediately. Don't wait. Every scratch or fingerprint could cost you thousands. Now, here's something most people don't realize: even if your coin isn't the top-tier $574,000 version, it can still fetch anywhere between $1,000 to $10,000 if the error is present, but in slightly lower grade. That's more than a month's salary for many Americans, all from a coin most people ignore. And hey, before you start flipping over your couch cushions, no, licking your finger and rubbing the coin won't make it shine. You might actually destroy its value. We live in a time where one penny can change your life. Not in theory. In reality, coins like the 2016 D Lincoln penny prove that wealth doesn't always come in stacks. Sometimes, it comes in copper. So ask yourself, have you checked your change today? That 1 second glance could uncover a 6-figure treasure. It could mean early retirement, paying off debt, sending your kids to college, or finally taking that vacation you've been putting off for years. But here's the truth: these coins won't stay hidden forever. Every day, collectors are finding them, grading them, and selling them. The window of opportunity is open right now. But it won't stay open forever. So go. Look through your penny jars, your drawers, your glove compartment. Because the next life-changing coin might not be in a museum, it might be sitting in your home, right under your nose. And when you find it, remember, you didn't just discover a coin, you discovered freedom. Sounds impossible? Keep watching, because this is not just a story of rare coins, it's about missed fortunes, hidden treasures, and how one penny can change your life. you may be sitting on a small fortune right now without even knowing it. So before you toss that change or let someone else take a look through your coin jar, stay with me. Because this coin's value is climbing, collectors are fighting for it, and in a few moments, you'll understand exactly why this penny has become one of the most sought-after modern coins in America. Let's get into the heart of the mystery. The 2017 Lincoln penny with the D Mint mark, produced at the Denver Mint, was supposed to be just another modern coin. Billions were minted. So why is one of them worth nearly $600,000? It all starts with a rare mint error, a small, unintentional mistake during production. In some cases, the dies used to strike the coins were misaligned, creating doubling on Lincoln's face or the inscriptions. In others, the coins were struck on the wrong planchet, or had off-center strikes, making them instant anomalies, and when we say rare, we're talking 1 in millions. That's rarer than winning some state lotteries. Now imagine this. A coin collector in Florida recently stumbled upon a 2017 D penny with doubling on "In God We Trust" and severe strike errors. He had it graded by a professional service, and the result? A jaw-dropping market value of $567,000. And here's the twist, he found it in loose change from a grocery store. Let that sink in for a moment. How many times have you handed over coins without a second glance? Or thrown them into your car's cup holder, never to be seen again? Still think this can't happen to you? I mean, we all have that one junk drawer filled with old batteries, broken pens, and random coins, right? Well, maybe it's time to finally clean it out, but this time, do it like your bank account depends on it. Because it just might. Most 2017 D pennies are worth face value, 1 cent. But the key difference lies in condition, rarity, and certified grading. Collectors are paying astronomical amounts for MS-68 and above condition coins. That means almost perfect, with barely a scratch visible even under a magnifying glass. Combine that pristine condition with a rare error, and you're looking at a 6-figure auction piece, and the demand is real. As more people discover the treasure hiding in their change, the market is becoming fiercely competitive. Auction houses like Heritage and Stack's Bowers are listing modern era coins at record-breaking prices, but here's the real kicker, most people don't even know what to look for. That's what makes this moment so urgent, and here's where things get really serious. The value of the 2017 D penny is surging, not just because of rarity, but because investors are now seeing coins as stable assets. In a world full of financial uncertainty, coins like this become wealth in your pocket. Coming up in just a moment, I'll show you exactly how to check your 2017 D penny for these million-dollar traits and how to sell it for top dollar. But first, ask yourself this: if you had a $567,000 penny in your house right now, would you even know it? Alright, let's get down to the part that could change your future. Step 1, look for the D Mint mark, located just under the year, 2017, on the front of the coin. That means it was minted in Denver, which is crucial for this variety. Step 2, check for errors. Use a magnifying glass. Focus on Lincoln's face, the words, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date. Look for any doubling, strange shapes, or distortions. Step 3, examine the centering. Is the image off to one side? That could be an off-center strike, another valuable error. Step 4, flip the coin. Check the Lincoln Memorial or Shield, depending on the design, on the reverse side. Again, you're looking for doubling, missing elements, or misaligned text. Step 5, if your coin looks unusual, do not clean it. Cleaning can ruin its value instantly. Instead, send it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll certify it and assign a grade. This step is vital if you want to attract serious buyers. And finally, Step 6, connect with major coin auction houses or trusted collectors. Never settle for pawn shops or casual dealers. The right buyer will pay you what it's truly worth. Somewhere out there, someone just threw a 2017 D penny into a tip jar, not knowing it could have paid off their mortgage. The difference between them and you now know what to look for. You have a decision to make. Ignore the coins in your home and hope for better luck tomorrow, or take action today and start checking for treasure right under your nose, because your story could be the next one told. about the person who went from pennies to prosperity. Success doesn't always come in the form of big deals or risky investments. Sometimes, it's quiet. It's small. It's copper-colored, and sometimes, it jingles in your pocket. But what if I told you that one of these exact coins recently stunned the numismatic world with a market value reaching $560,000, and there are potentially more like it still in circulation? Yes, you heard that right. A modern penny, minted just a few years ago, now commanding the kind of price that could change your life forever. If you're one of the many Americans holding on to pocket change, coin jars, or old collections, this could be your moment. Your chance to turn a simple coin into the start of a wealthy, worry-free lifestyle. So why is the 2018 Lincoln D penny making millionaires? What makes it so special? And how can you tell if you have one of the valuable ones hiding in plain sight? Stay with me. Because in the next few minutes, we're going to unlock secrets the average collector doesn't know. And trust me, you do not want to miss the ending. Let's rewind to 2018. The Denver Mint was producing billions of pennies, just like every other year. At first glance, the 2018 Lincoln D penny looks completely ordinary, copper-plated zinc, weighing 2.5 grams, with the same design we've seen since 2010. Abraham Lincoln facing right. The Union Shield on the reverse. So how does a coin like that end up being worth over $500,000, rare era coins? That's the key. Some 2018 D pennies were struck with extremely rare minting mistakes, the kind of mistakes that collectors and investors will pay small fortunes for. We're talking about double dies, off-center strikes, broad strikes, and most importantly, transitional errors. And these aren't just minor slip-ups. They're bold, visible flaws that turn an ordinary penny into a historical anomaly. Think of it like a typo in the Declaration of Independence. The mistake becomes more valuable than the original. Now here's the twist. These rare 2018 D pennies weren't supposed to happen. But due to a small batch of flawed dies or mishandled planchets, a few slipped past inspection. And once they were discovered, they rocked the coin world. In fact, one pristine 2018 Lincoln D penny with a dramatic double die obverse and uncirculated condition was recently auctioned for an astonishing $560,000. Yes. A penny. Over $500,000. Now pause for a second. When was the last time you actually looked closely at your spare change? Right now, someone out there could have a fortune sitting in their glove compartment, and let's be honest, when most people find a penny on the ground, what do? They ignore it. But after this video, I guarantee you'll never walk past a penny again without checking the date and mint mark. Ever seen someone diving into a couch cushion like they're on a treasure hunt? That could be you, and for good reason. So how do you know if your 2018 D Lincoln penny is worth a fortune? Start with the mint mark. Look for the letter D just under the date. That tells you it came from the Denver Mint, the mint responsible for this six-figure anomaly. Then, examine the coin carefully. Use a magnifying glass or a digital microscope. Here's what to look for: doubling on Lincoln's eye, nose, or the word Liberty. Misaligned dies that result in part of the design being off-center, letters that look blurred or shadowed, classic signs of double die errors. A coin that feels thicker or thinner than usual, that might indicate a planchet error. If you spot anything unusual, don't clean the coin. Leave it untouched and get it graded by a reputable company like PCGS or NGC. Authentication is critical, and the condition of the coin can skyrocket its value. You might think, why would anyone pay hundreds of thousands for a mistake? Because collectors and investors know the value of rarity. In the coin world, a one-of-a-kind error is like a Van Gogh with a misplaced brushstroke. Here's the truth most people don't realize. Rare pennies aren't just pieces of metal. They're financial opportunities. And time is running out to act on them. The market for rare modern coins is heating up fast. As inflation rises and traditional investments become unstable, more wealthy buyers are turning to rare coins for security and long-term gains. And that includes modern mint errors. What used to be junk change is now serious money. But once these coins are discovered and snapped up, the window closes. Fast. So the question is, are you going to be the one who finds it, or the one who regrets not checking? Check your drawers. Check your coin jars. Look at every 2018 D penny you find. Because the next one you touch might be the one that changes your life forever, and if you think this kind of thing only happens to someone else, remember, the last person who cashed in that $560,000 penny probably thought the same. Now you know the truth about the 2018 Lincoln D penny. But what if I told you there's another modern penny, even more common, that's now being hunted by collectors with deep pockets? In our next video, we'll reveal the coin that's showing up in everyday change and silently making its owners rich. Subscribe now, because that next penny could be in your wallet right now, and missing this information could cost you everything. Until then, stay curious, and keep checking those pennies. What if I told you that an ordinary-looking penny, one you might have walked past or spent without a second thought, could be worth hundreds, even thousands, of dollars today? It's not a myth. The 1967 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, especially those preserved in a rich copper tone or exhibiting an unusual darkened surface, has been quietly making waves in the coin collecting world. Collectors are on high alert. Auction prices are climbing. And yet, most people don't even know what to look for. By the time this video ends, you'll never see a 1967 penny the same way again. But what makes this seemingly common coin a hidden treasure? Let's uncover the truth before someone else cashes in. Before you do to understand the true value of the 1967 Lincoln penny, we must first step back in time. The United States Mint struck billions of pennies in 1967 as part of a plan to eliminate mint marks temporarily, aiming to discourage coin hoarding during a nationwide coin shortage. That's why you won't find a mint mark on any 1967 penny. Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco coins all looked the same on the surface. At first glance, this move seemed to make the coin more generic. But in reality, it set the stage for something far more interesting. Most of these pennies were made from a composition of 95% copper and 5% zinc, and over time, copper's natural aging process resulted in many coins developing a darker, almost black tone. But some 1967 pennies turned this color faster than others, due to environmental exposure, improper storage, or chemical reactions. The black copper appearance is not only striking, but it has become a visual cue for collectors searching for rare variants. These coins stand out in a collection, and more importantly, they stand out at auction. What's most surprising is the scarcity of high-grade 1967 pennies in pristine condition. Despite their massive production, very few survived without scratches, dings, or discoloration from circulation. And those that retained their bold copper luster or developed a rich, blackened patina are now in hot demand. Why? Because rarity plus beauty equals value. And the market has taken notice. Recently, a stunning red-brown 1967 penny graded MS67 by PCGS fetched over $500 at auction. Another with an almost jet-black copper tone in uncirculated condition caught the attention of bidders and climbed well beyond $1,000. These aren't just anomalies. They're part of a growing trend. As collectors rush to secure the best-preserved pieces, prices continue to rise, and so does the urgency. So how do you know if you've got the right coin? First, look closely at the color. A bright red or rich brown tone is a great sign, especially if the surfaces are clean and sharp. If the coin has a darker, near-black copper tone, don't dismiss it. That patina could be what makes your penny unique, and highly sought after. Next, examine the fields and devices. Strong detail, minimal contact marks, and full steps in Lincoln's memorial can make a massive difference in value, but finding the coin is only the beginning. Preserving it properly is just as important. Always handle your pennies by the edges to avoid damaging the surface. Store them in acid-free holders or certified coin flips. And if you believe your 1967 penny is in exceptionally good shape, consider getting it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. A certified grade can skyrocket its value and make it far easier to sell to serious buyers. The 1967 Lincoln penny with no mint mark is not just another old coin, it's a forgotten relic with growing value and rising demand. In the world of numismatics, timing is everything. And right now, collectors and investors alike are hunting for high-grade examples with unique copper tones and rare finishes. The market is heating up, and those who act early are reaping the rewards. You might already own one of these rare pennies. It could be tucked inside a forgotten jar, hidden in a drawer, or resting in your coin collection unnoticed. But now you know what to look for, and more importantly, why it matters. Because the next time someone hands you a penny, you won't see a single cent. You'll see potential. You'll see history. And if you're lucky, you just might see a small copper coin worth a fortune. There's a tiny coin hiding in plain sight, one that millions of Americans unknowingly let slip through their fingers every day. It's just a penny, or so they think. But what if I told you that one of the most ordinary-looking coins in your pocket change right now could actually be worth thousands of dollars? Especially if it's from 1976, carries no mint mark, and shines in a deep, coppery black tone. This isn't just numismatic folklore, it's happening, right now, in the collector's market. And the clock is ticking. As more collectors catch on, fewer of these rare survivors remain unclaimed in circulation. If you've got one, or find one, you may be sitting on a hidden fortune. But what makes the 1976 Lincoln penny so special? And how can you tell if yours is the one everyone wants? Stick around, because this could change the way you look at pennies forever. To understand why this penny is making headlines in the coin world, we need to travel back to 1976, a year of celebration and change in America. The bicentennial year marked the 200th anniversary of the nation's founding, and while special commemorative quarters, half dollars, and dollar coins were minted to honor the occasion, the humble Lincoln penny continued its quiet march through time with a more subtle significance. Unlike the special bicentennial designs of other denominations, the 1976 Lincoln cent retained its classic look: Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But within that traditional appearance lies an overlooked anomaly, specifically in the Philadelphia minted versions, which bear no mint mark. Now, most of these 1976 no mint mark pennies were struck in ordinary copper alloy. But over time, a rare subset of these coins began to darken, not through damage or artificial toning, but due to a natural chemical process known as oxidation. When stored improperly or exposed to certain environmental conditions, copper can take on a unique, almost blackened tone, giving the coin a deep, glossy patina that serious collectors call the black copper effect. It's not just a color, it's a sign of age, authenticity, and in some cases, extraordinary value. Why is this dark-toned penny becoming so sought after? The answer lies in scarcity and demand. While hundreds of millions of 1976 pennies were produced, very few have survived in pristine condition, especially those with the rare copper black appearance and no mint mark. Even fewer have avoided cleaning, corrosion, or damage over nearly 50 years. Collectors are aggressively pursuing these coins, not just for their historical value, but as speculative investments. And the numbers don't lie. In recent auctions and private sales, certified high-grade 1976 Lincoln cents with that rich copper hue and no mint mark have fetched between $100 and $450. In exceptional cases, where the coin is uncirculated, deeply toned, and professionally graded MS-66 or higher, the price can surge past $1,000. These are real figures, confirmed by market data from PCGS and NGC certified transactions. What's more, values are climbing. As demand increases, especially among collectors building full-date Lincoln cent sets, these black-toned 1976 cents are disappearing from the open market at a rapid pace. But here's where it gets even more exciting: many of these valuable coins are still hiding in old jars, dresser drawers, and inherited coin collections. They're out there. And you could be the next person to find one. So how do you know if you found one of these prized pennies? First, check the date, 1976. Then confirm there's no mint mark below the date, that means it was struck in Philadelphia. Next, examine the color. A naturally darkened, blackish copper tone can be a strong indicator of premium value, especially if it appears uniform and glossy, not blotchy or artificially altered. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to inspect the coin's surfaces. If there's minimal wear, strong luster under the tone, and no visible scratches or damage, you may be holding something extraordinary. To protect its value, never clean the coin, doing so can erase thousands of dollars in potential worth. Instead, place it in a non-PVC coin flip or an acid-free coin holder and consult a reputable coin dealer or grading service. Getting your coin certified by PCGS or NGC can significantly increase its marketability and resale value. Collectors today are not just hobbyists, they're investors. And this coin checks all the boxes: historical relevance, rarity, visual uniqueness, and a rapidly growing buyer base. As inflation and global uncertainty push people to alternative assets, coins like the 1976 no-mint mark black copper penny are seeing explosive interest. The 1976 Lincoln penny with no-mint mark may look like a humble piece of pocket change. But under the right conditions, it transforms into a powerful asset, one that's both beautiful and financially rewarding. Its legacy is rooted in American history, its rarity heightened by nature's own chemistry, and its value driven by a collector market that's hungrier than ever. If you haven't checked your change jars lately, now is the time. If you're already a collector, this coin deserves a place at the top of your watch list. Because in a world where the smallest things can hold the greatest value, this little penny stands as a reminder: sometimes, the hidden treasures are the ones we overlook the most, and the next one could be sitting in your hand, right now. Stay sharp. Stay curious. And keep collecting. A single coin from 1978. No mint mark. A deep copper color. And yet, it's anything but ordinary. This penny has become one of the most underappreciated treasures in U.S. coinage, until now. In the next few minutes, you're going to discover why this overlooked piece of change is creating serious buzz in the numismatic world, and why, if you own one, you may be holding on to a rare slice of American history with growing value. But before you assume it's just another old coin, let me show you what makes this penny so different, and so valuable. The 1978 Lincoln penny was the final full year before a major shift in U.S. coin production. Minted in Philadelphia with no mint mark, this coin was struck primarily in copper, weighing 3.11 grams and composed of 95% copper and 5% zinc. It carries the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, a design by Victor David Brenner that had already been in circulation for nearly 70 years. But what most collectors don't realize is that not all 1978 pennies are created equal. This was an era before the U.S. Mint switched to a lighter, copper-plated zinc composition in 1982. And while millions of 1978 pennies were minted, time has not been kind to most of them. Many have suffered heavy wear, discoloration, and damage through circulation. But a rare few have survived in stunning, original copper tone, some even developing a rich, dark patina, bordering on what collectors refer to as the black copper shade. These unique coins aren't just eye-catching, they're a beacon to serious collectors. Let's talk about that distinctive copper black appearance. It's not artificial. It's the product of time, natural oxidation, and environmental exposure, conditions that can create a beautiful, almost matte-like black tone over the original copper surface. But here's where it gets interesting: while environmental toning often lowers a coin's value, in the case of 1978 no-mint mark pennies, this rare, uniform darkening has become highly desirable. It's a sign that the coin hasn't been cleaned, altered, or aggressively circulated. Instead, it's been preserved, sometimes hidden away in drawers, coin jars, or estate collections, untouched for decades, and when collectors spot that natural black shade, they know what they're looking at: a time capsule. A coin that hasn't just survived, but has aged beautifully. Now pair that unique appearance with rarity in high grades, and you've got a market storm brewing. While the Philadelphia Mint struck over 5 billion pennies in 1978, only a microscopic fraction still exist in excellent condition. And those that exhibit a deep copper tone or black patina in uncirculated or near uncirculated grades, they are in extreme demand. Let's look at real numbers. In average circulated condition, a 1978 no-mint mark penny may only be worth a few cents. But once you get into mint state territory, MS65 and above, the value spikes dramatically. Certified examples have sold for $80 to $150, with certain pristine specimens climbing beyond $400 at auction. One stunning, dark-toned MS-67 penny recently shocked collectors when it fetched nearly $1,200, thanks to its sharp details and rich copper coloration. That's right. A 1-cent coin, sold for over $1,000. And the market isn't cooling. As collectors grow more aware of the 1978 no-mint mark penny's potential, demand continues to climb, especially for coins with unique colorations and top-tier grades. So how do you know if you have one of these gems? Start by checking the obverse. Look for a 1978 date with no mint mark beneath the year. Examine the coin under good lighting. If it has a smooth, dark copper tone without harsh scratches, spotting, or corrosion, it's worth closer inspection. Weigh it carefully. It should come in at 3.11 grams. Anything significantly less could be a damaged zinc coin or altered piece, and here's the collector's secret: never clean your coin. Even if it appears dirty or dull, cleaning it can destroy its numismatic value. Instead, preserve it in a soft holder or coin flip. And if you believe it could be mint state or uniquely toned, get it graded. A certified grade from PCGS or NGC can instantly multiply its market value. The 1978 no-mint mark Lincoln penny may have started as pocket change, but today, it's turning heads and opening wallets. Its historic place at the tail end of the true copper era, its unexpected visual beauty in the copper-black shade, and its rising market value make it one of the smartest, most overlooked coin investments of the decade. Don't underestimate the coins hiding in plain sight. One 1978 penny could be worth more than 100,000 of its kind. And if you find the right one, dark, copper-rich, and well-preserved, you're not just holding a coin, you're holding value, history, and the kind of rarity collectors dream of. Check your jars. Search your rolls. And if you come across one, don't let it go, because the next time this coin sells for thousands, it could be yours. And not just any 1991 penny. I'm talking about the rare, mysterious copper-colored variation that's catching fire in the collector's market. These aren't your average coins. They're slipping through unnoticed, dismissed as ordinary, while savvy collectors are cashing in on their value. But what makes this specific penny so special? Why are some of them showing up in a darker, almost black copper shade? And how can you tell if the one in your hand is worth a fortune or just 1 cent? Stay with me, because what you're about to discover could change how you see pocket change forever. The 1991 Lincoln penny may seem like an everyday coin at first glance. It features the iconic bust of Abraham Lincoln, a design introduced in 1909 to celebrate the centennial of his birth. By 1991, this coin had already become a fixture of American coinage. That year, most Lincoln pennies were struck in Philadelphia and Denver, with Denver coins bearing the D mint mark. But a large number minted in Philadelphia bore no mint mark at all, making them appear deceptively ordinary. Yet this no mint mark version is where the mystery begins. Around this time, the U.S. Mint had long transitioned from solid copper coins to copper-plated zinc. This switch occurred in 1982 to cut costs, and by 1991, the vast majority of pennies were being minted with a zinc core and a thin copper coating. But collectors began noticing something unusual. Some 1991 Lincoln pennies, particularly those without a mint mark, were appearing in a strange, darker copper tone. Not just a patina or oxidation, but a richer, almost burnt copper look that made them stand out immediately. This darker copper, or what some collectors call the black copper tone, is believed to be the result of environmental exposure, chemical reactions with the zinc core, or even striking anomalies during minting. In some rare cases, it may be a sign of early deterioration in the plating process that unintentionally produced a rare finish. Others argue it may have been a limited batch struck using older copper blanks or improperly mixed materials, adding fuel to its collectible fire. Regardless of the cause, this distinct appearance, when combined with excellent condition, has become the hallmark of serious value. In today's coin market, the 1991 no mint mark penny in pristine condition already has collector interest, but it's those that feature the unique copper dark shade and near perfect luster that are turning heads. Recently, one such example, with no visible mint mark and sharp copper tone, sold for over $375 in an online auction. Another in uncirculated condition fetched close to $850, thanks to its unique coloration and near-perfect surfaces. It's not just about the tone, though, it's about eye appeal, grade, and rarity combined. The market is flooded with worn-out 1991 pennies, but the high-grade, copper-toned variants? They're vanishing fast into private collections, rarely making it back into circulation. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC have begun certifying these coins, giving them higher value based on rarity, condition, and visual uniqueness. And as more collectors chase these variations, the supply is drying up, fast. Now here's where it gets exciting. Because most people don't know what they're holding. These coins can easily slip through the cracks. Someone might see that darker tone and assume it's just dirty or damaged. But that assumption could cost them hundreds of dollars. That's why being able to identify the real treasure is the key. So how can you tell if your 1991 penny is one of these high-value gems? Start by checking the mint mark, or rather, the absence of one. Then, examine the coin's color under good lighting. A true copper tone or dark copper hue, especially with strong luster and no signs of damage, is your first clue. If the coin feels slightly heavier or thicker than a typical zinc penny, you may be holding a transitional or off-metal strike, another high-value anomaly. For serious evaluation, consider having the coin professionally graded. Even a small investment in grading can yield a large return if your coin proves to be rare. Preservation is equally important. Avoid handling the coin with bare fingers, use cotton gloves. Store it in a protective flip or a hard plastic case, and keep it in a cool, dry place away from humidity and light. Remember, condition is everything. A high-grade specimen could fetch hundreds today and possibly much more in the years to come. As the collector market continues to grow, and as more coins disappear into private hands, the 1991 no-mint mark Lincoln penny in copper tone is fast becoming a hidden treasure. It's not just a collector's item, it's a serious investment opportunity. In a world where inflation weakens the dollar, rare coins like this become tangible assets with rising demand and limited supply. The next time you check your pocket change, remember this: you could be holding a coin that tells a story of history, mystery, and value. Will you recognize it when you see it? Or will someone else cash in on your missed opportunity? Don't overlook the penny. Especially not the 1991 Lincoln with no mint mark and that rich copper glow. Because sometimes, 1 cent is all it takes to change everything. Not some ancient coin buried in history, but a modern piece minted in 2006. The shocking part? It's the one without a mint mark, a penny most people have ignored for nearly 2 decades. But collectors today are scrambling to get their hands on it, especially the ones in an unusual copper color. Why? Because something rare and unexpected happened in the minting process that year, turning a common coin into an unexpected treasure. And if you've got one of these, you could be holding on to a silent fortune. But what makes this 2006 Lincoln penny so special? And why are those in a coppery shade suddenly attracting serious money? Stay with me, because once you hear the full story behind this coin, you might rush to check your old change jars and penny rolls before the rest of the world catches on. The Lincoln cent has been a staple of American currency since 1909, bearing the face of one of our most iconic presidents. Over the decades, it has seen many changes, different metals, slight design shifts, and evolving minting practices. But in 1982, a monumental shift occurred. The U.S. Mint transitioned from solid copper to a copper-plated zinc composition. That means pennies after that point weren't really copper anymore, at least not underneath. From 1982 onward, most pennies weighed just 2.5 grams, with a thin copper layer covering a zinc core. Fast forward to 2006. The Philadelphia Mint produced millions of Lincoln cents that year, many without a mint mark, as is standard for Philadelphia issues. On the surface, they looked like any other modern penny. But beneath that standard appearance, a mystery began to unfold. Collectors started discovering 2006 Lincoln pennies with an unusual, rich copper tone, much deeper and more vibrant than the typical shiny, plated versions. These weren't your average cents. And they weren't fakes either. What caused this unique coloration? Experts believe a very small number of these coins may have either been struck on copper planchets mistakenly mixed in from earlier years or experienced a chemical or environmental exposure that enhanced their copper appearance while retaining their mint luster. Others suspect a minting anomaly, an over-polished die or planchet variation that altered the tone. Whatever the case, the result is stunning, a Lincoln penny that looks and feels different, with a brilliant, eye-catching hue that sets it apart instantly, and it's not just the color drawing attention. These 2006 copper shade no mint mark pennies are rare, exceptionally rare. While most examples are zinc-based and ordinary, these coins stand out for their tone, condition, and composition. And that rarity has collectors reaching deep into their wallets. In recent months, verified examples of these copper shade 2006 pennies in high grades have fetched impressive prices. Some uncirculated examples graded MS65 or higher by PCGS and NGC have reached values between $150 to $400. But coins with near-perfect surfaces and deep copper luster, those with the appearance of a possible planchet error, have crossed the $1,000 threshold in online auctions. One private sale even reported a staggering $1,500 payout for a verified copper tone 2006 penny with no mint mark, found in a sealed roll. That's the power of condition, rarity, and mystery combined. So, how can you tell if your 2006 Lincoln penny is one of these rare gems? First, check for the absence of a mint mark. These valuable specimens originate from the Philadelphia Mint. Next, look closely at the color. Is it the standard pinkish red of modern zinc coins, or does it carry a deeper, richer, copper-like tone? Use a scale. A genuine copper planchet penny from 2006 would weigh around 3.11 grams, heavier than the standard 2.5 grams. Finally, inspect the coin's luster and strike. Sharp details and a glossy surface are signs of minimal circulation, perfect for grading and resale. If you find one, avoid cleaning it at all costs. Even a minor scratch can reduce its value significantly. Instead, place it in a non-PVC coin flip or capsule and have it professionally graded. Preservation is everything in the numismatic world, especially when dealing with unusual pieces like this. Now here's the big takeaway: this coin isn't just a curiosity. It's a modern-day investment. As more collectors discover the existence of these rare 2006 copper tone pennies, demand is only going to rise. And with increasing interest comes soaring prices. We've already seen it happen with the 1982 small date copper penny, the 1969 double die, and even the 2009 log cabin cent. This 2006 mystery penny could be next. So, the question is, do you have one? Or will someone else cash in while you overlook it in your change drawer? Because in the world of coin collecting, timing is everything. And this could be your moment to turn 1 cent into a small fortune. Check your coins, look for the copper tone, and don't wait. These are being discovered, sold, and disappearing into private collections every day. This isn't about a century-old coin or a rare minting error from the early 1900s. This is a 2007 Lincoln penny with a Denver mint mark, but not just any version. We're talking about a copper-shaded beauty that looks different, feels different, and is commanding surprising prices in today's collector market. Collectors are hunting for them. Online bids are skyrocketing. So why is this 2007 D penny suddenly making waves? The answer lies not just in its unique color, but in a mystery that could turn your everyday penny into a rare treasure. Stay with me, because what you're about to discover might change the way you see every single coin in your jar.to. Understand the true significance of the 2007 D Lincoln penny. We must begin with its origins. This coin was part of the final stretch of the long-running Lincoln Memorial cent design, which began in 1959 to honor the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. By 2009, the penny would undergo a major redesign, commemorating the bicentennial of Lincoln's birth and the centennial of the Lincoln cent itself. But just 2 years before that shift, in 2007, a batch of Denver-minted pennies entered circulation, and some of them stood out in a way no one expected. The difference? The color. While most 2007 pennies display the typical reddish-orange zinc appearance, a small percentage of them emerged with a striking copper-colored finish. Not dull, not dirty, but with a warm, almost vintage copper luster, reminiscent of the pre-1982 solid copper cents. This isn't just a trick of lighting or tarnish from age. These coins possess a distinct visual quality that seasoned collectors immediately recognize. Some believe this copper tone developed due to a unique alloy mix, planchet anomalies, or even environmental factors affecting only specific rolls. But whatever the cause, the result is undeniable. These coins look different, and they feel special, and that difference has not gone unnoticed. Collectors across the country are now paying close attention to these copper-shaded 2007 D pennies. Why? Because rarity drives value, and when a common date coin suddenly shows uncommon features, the demand explodes. The United States Mint never intended for these pennies to stand out. That's what makes them fascinating. They're accidental gems, mysterious variants hiding in plain sight. Recent online auctions and coin forums have documented these copper-tinted 2007 D pennies selling for up to $35 in uncirculated condition. Some graded examples, especially those certified in MS66 red brown or red by PCGS or NGC, have reached even higher numbers. What began as a curiosity has turned into a market trend. As more collectors seek these coins to complete their modern penny sets, or to hold as speculative investments, the prices are climbing, and availability is tightening, but identifying these copper-shaded coins isn't as simple as holding one up to the light. You'll need a trained eye. Compare it with a standard 2007 D penny under natural light. The genuine copper tone versions have a deeper, richer hue and often appear slightly matte. They don't shine like freshly minted zinc pennies. Instead, they offer a smooth, burnished glow that sets them apart. For collectors, the hunt begins with knowing what to look for, but it doesn't end there. Preserving this value means storing the coin properly. Avoid handling it with bare fingers. Use cotton gloves or soft tweezers. Keep it in an acid-free holder or capsule. Exposure to air, oils, and moisture can dull the surface or even alter the coloration over time. The condition of the coin will significantly affect its resale value, so the right storage method is more than just best practice, it's an investment strategy. The 2007 D Lincoln penny in its rare copper shade may not yet be a household name in the world of numismatics, but it's steadily becoming a quiet powerhouse for collectors who know what to watch for. As the years go by, more of these coins will disappear into private collections, sealed away in protective cases, their values slowly climbing out of reach for casual finders. That creates a perfect storm of low supply and increasing demand, a recipe for major price appreciation. This is not just a coin. It's a sleeper investment, hiding in plain sight, often overlooked, yet growing in both value and intrigue. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone just beginning to explore the world of rare coins, the 2007 D copper-shaded Lincoln penny deserves a place on your radar. So before you toss that next handful of change into a jar or feed it into a machine, take one more look. You might just be holding a coin that's worth far more than 1 cent. And if you find it, don't let it go. The copper shade, the Denver Mint mark, the mystery behind it all, this penny tells a story. The only question now is, will it be part of your collection or someone else's fortune?